Just checking to see if we are live. How is everyone this evening? Are we doing okay? There we go. You can see me now. Just make sure that the sound is off. Oh, actually, I'll make sure. Yes, that's good. You can hear me okay. Just bring this a little closer. Getting all my wires tangled up. How is everyone this evening? Are we all well? Are we all okay? It's been it's a bit of a wet and grey kind of a day here where we live, so I don't know if it's the same where you guys are, but I hope you're all warm and cozy. I've got myself a drink in my favourite pumpkin mug next to me to keep me warm and cozy. That being said, under these lights I'm always pretty cozy, so so I'm all ready to do a little bit of crafting with you all. So tonight, what I thought I would do, obviously I've got these cards here just for you to have something pretty to look at while we get set up. Hello Claire, it's Thursday again, yay! It just seems to come around so quickly sometimes, doesn't it? And this is my favourite part of the week because I get to do some crafting, which I don't always get to do. Although I have done a bit of crafting this week because I was doing a magazine brief for Papercraft Essentials, which I think will be out later on in the year. I'm not quite sure when. It might be the November issue, I'm not sure. Anywho, that meant I got to do a bit of crafting, which was a lot of fun. But I don't normally get much chance. So Thursday nights are our time to have a little bit of a catch up and to get a bit of crafting done. Hi Jess, how are you? Hello team, hello community. Yes, the rain was with you this morning as well. And hello Titi, how are you? I'm not sure what what you've said to us, but I'm hoping it's hello and how are you? So we're very well and I hope you are too. So let's get some crafting done. My idea tonight is to play with, she says if she can find where she's put them, with some of the products that we've got in our sale. So if you're a subscriber, let me just put this big heavy box on my desk here for you all to have a little nosy at while I have a little hunt around for some bits. If you are a subscriber, you will have seen that we do have a sale on at the moment, and the sale is related to things a little bit Halloween-y. So we've had a look. I've had a good look through all of the goodies on the website, picked out some bits that are perfect for Halloween, your Halloween projects, and we've got 20% off them at the moment. So I'm looking specifically for this. This is the Box Clever die set, which is in the sale. And obviously we've got a lot of our Halloween goodies in there as well. So, but this is the one that I want to use from a die perspective. So let's pop this back. It's very heavy now, full of lots of lovely dies. So I'm going to move my cup out of the way, otherwise it's going to get knocked over. I'll pop those out of the way also. So yes, I want to use this, and I also want to use some of our digi-stamps. So these are the Trick or Treat digi-stamps printed out, but in preparation I have already stamped and fussy cut some of those out of some cardstock. just to save us a bit of time so you don't have to watch me. And then I've also got our digi papers here as well. So I've got a number of those printed out. This is the front cover so you can see what's in the set. So you've got all of these different patterns, and again, these are all digital, so you can just download them immediately. So for this point in the month, it is almost Halloween. So we haven't got much time if we're planning doing any other extra projects. So digi-stamps are ideal because you can download them and access them straight away, and then you can print them out as many times as you might need and whatever size you might need. So for things like making banners, things to decorate your house up ready for Halloween, these are ideal for that. And I do have a project that I'm working on that I'm going to reveal and hopefully get uploaded over the weekend, of a last minute project that you can do for the big day for Halloween. Just something that'll be quite nice to do, especially if you are like me and Aunt, don't have any kids, and we don't really do any of the Halloween kind of traditional stuff. We don't do the trick-or-treating or anything like that because, why would we? So, but it's a way to get involved in a small way. So going to use some of those. Also going to use this die set, like I said, and I will also potentially be using 2 of our stamp sets that are Halloween related. So I put that in upside down, so I'm going to turn that back around because it's bothering me. So this is the spooky circles, and then this is the haunted house. So I'm not going to use the haunted house, although I was considering whether the haunted house could go in the background, and I do think that would look really, really cool. And I think if we had more time, that might be something that I would do, is pop that in the background. So because I think that would look so cool. So and I do already have this made up. I could potentially cut this out and add this to the background, but we'll see, because that's a lovely card in its own right. So yeah, but then we have got the sentiments on here as well, which I think we'll use. So first up, I think the first thing to do is to cut out our actual card. I can't think what I'm trying to say. I feel like I've got some dies missing there, because yeah, this is the display die set, not the Box Clever die set. I thought that didn't look right. So this is the display card, which is not in the sale. We're actually out of stock of this one, so don't look at that, because that's one that you can't use. What have I done with that one then, do you suppose? If I can't find it, then this is going to scupper my idea, isn't it? Bear with me. Oh, there she is, look. There she is. Okay, so I'm going to cut this. So this is the Box Clever die set. This is a really lovely little die set, and I'm going to use, I think, as my card base, some lovely purple, this rich purple cardstock, because this will go really well with the rest of my colour theme. Hi Annalisa, hi Laura, how are you? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut out 2 of this shape of die. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cut my cardstock down, because it does make it easy to run through my my card machine. No, my die cutting machine. I'm just going to pop my machine on. Just checking if there are any cats lurking about, and then I do have some washi tape here just to hold that in place. And do excuse the noise while we just pop this to take off here, you will see on the cardstock, hopefully if I hold that close enough and move it around, you can see that there are lines, score lines here and here, which will allow you just to fold that into place. So you're going to build up your box in this way. So we need to cut out another one to fit onto this, if that makes sense. So, and the great thing is that you can cut all of this out of your A4 piece of cardstock. So, which I think is just, you know, really, really good. It will also fit into an A6 size, an A6 size envelope. So I'm going to cut out, so this is a really nice die. It's double stitched, so we can then create a little window in our box card, which means then you'll be able to see through it and see the scene in there. So, and I've not made a box card for such a long time, and I do love these. They're such a cool little card to send. And I think Halloween is particularly for the children, isn't it? So if you're going to be making something for the little ones, something like this that's a bit more interactive, I think, is just up their street. So let's pop that in the machine. Number 2. My plates are so warped, I really need to do something with them. So the other thing that you're going to use this die for is panels for your box card as well, which again is you know, what makes this such a great little little die set. It has got everything that you could possibly want in here. So just remove that. So we don't need this die anymore. We can pop that one back. But you will also find a die like this, which again is going to help you create little panels. So that's going to create a panel on the side, and then this one will create a panel on the inside or on the back of your box card, or both, depending on how you want to play it. This one you can keep and do something with. Hello Heather, how are you? Hi Angie, how are you? Kalispera everyone, hope you're all well. We are very well, I hope you are too. Are you crafting while you're watching? Is anybody crafting while they're watching? So and you could create another window along the sides of these actually if you wanted to. That's not something that I've done before, but I think that may possibly affect how we add our little what would you call these, like little supports for our characters to create your 3D image. So we also need some of these cut in. Now you've got 2 different styles. You've got this style here, which is gives you like a little bit of a hillside, and then this one here that's going to give you just a straight line. So I think I'm going to cut these potentially out of I might cut them out of some black cardstock and then potentially cover them in patterned paper, but I think I'm going to cut them out of black cardstock to begin with, to create kind of a bit of a darker scene. So folding that one down the score line there, and then you can see then how these are going to fit together is like so. And that's going to create your box card. Isn't that's just so cute? I love that so much. So so yeah, so that's the basic structure of it, but we also need these little shelves, if you like, to pop our little critters on. So I'm going to get some black cardstock and let's cut these out. And then we're also going to cut out the other pieces out of some patterned paper, I think. So the decorating of the box is, you know, one of the really fun things that we can do. Just seeing what little scraps of card I've got here that might be really useful. These are good ones. Can we fit both onto the same piece? Yes, we can. Look at that. Perfect. Bit of washi tape on there. Just pop them to one side and pop this through. Claire says that she's playing with stencils tonight. What are you making? Anything in particular, Claire? Or are you just making some general backgrounds for later use? And Angie says, I've not long been home off the plane an hour ago. Made a fuss of all the cats now in bed resting your aching feet. Are you home as in UK home or in Greece home? Angie, I never know which one's which way round it is. But yes, rest those feet and watch me craft, and give the cats lots of fuss from me also. Until about 10 minutes ago, our two were both sat outside my my office door here, just laid out chilling with me, but they've disappeared now, so I'm assuming they've gone to annoy their daddy downstairs. Heather says that she thinks you're back in Greece. And what's the weather like in Greece at the moment? So this might be quite hard to see on screen, but I do have score lines at either side of these as well, so that we can just fold those over like so, and then again that's going to help us create a little platform for our images to sit on. So again, one at either side, and then we can just fold those and pop those into place in there, so then you'll be able to see your little images. So the next thing, so this is all starting to come together really quite easily now, and I think sometimes with box cards we think, oh, there's a lot of construction involved, and I know Heather, construction is definitely your thing, but this is such an easy thing to construct that it really, you know, I always think, why haven't I done more of these, because they look so cool. Heather says, I've just got in, but got to do some ironing for our London trip tomorrow. No rest for the Wicked. Oh, that's fantastic. Yes, Heather is off to see Wicked this weekend. I'm very jealous. I bet you're going to have an amazing time. I've actually got a trip this weekend. I shall tell you about that shortly. Angie says, back home in Seattle. Been in the UK for Crafting Live. The weather is beautiful. 18 degrees now at 10:20. Oh, I'm sick. I hate it. No, I love that you're getting some nice weather, but I wish we were. I'm so jealous. So jealous. I hate. I love the idea of autumn and the idea of it being all cozy and snuggly, and I love autumn crafts, but I am just so not a fan of the cold and the rain. That is not my cup of tea at all. I'd much rather be where you are in the sunshine. So I've got a couple of different options here for bits. I've just selected a few that I'm liking the look of, that we can use to decorate our box card. So for the background, I'm thinking that these stars are going to look really quite cute. So I do like that. And then for the outside, I'm thinking maybe the stripes or the zigzag pattern might look quite cool. I think I quite like the stripes because it's got the 3 different colours in there that we can then use to colour everything up. So I think I'm going to go with this for my background. So I need this die. So I'm going to add that to here, and I'm going to see where I want. I think that's quite a nice little cluster of stars. So I'm going to position it there, because you can obviously, if you've got a pattern that is like this, where it's a little bit you know, it's not a what's the word, symmetrical pattern, you can position it wherever you want. And then I'm just going to cut round this again, just so that it'll go through my machine a little bit easier, and we can save the rest of that paper. And then for the panels along the back and the sides, I'm going to use these. So I need to make sure that this is all going to fit on. So if I do like so, but I'm going to need these to both be the same, going in the same direction. So is that going to work? Yeah, it will work, because they will be in the same direction if I do it that way. See, spatial reasoning, is it, or is it maths? I don't know. It's not my strong suit. Definitely not. So I'm just going to cut the edges off there, edge off this one as well, so that we can pop this through. So we're just treating this like it is just patterned paper, so like you would. So let's put these through the die cutting machine. Angie says, me neither. I was born to wear flip-flops. Yeah, exactly. Perfect use for the digi-patterned paper. Yeah, exactly, Annalisa. So yeah, I was definitely made for summertime. I mean, we went to the supermarket last night, and it was about 6:30. So it wasn't like majorly late. Was it nearer 7? Anyway, it wasn't terribly late, but it was already dark, and then obviously it was cold, and when we came back it was dark and cold, whereas a couple of months earlier we would have been going at exactly the same time. It would have been warm still, and it would have been light. And that's the bit that I really love about summer, is the longer days, it being warmer till later. We've just put on our bed a thicker duvet to try and keep warm. Obviously, we're all battling with trying to keep our heating bills down as well at the moment, aren't we? So, excuse me. So, yes, so we've had to resort to the big snuggly duvet. Lisa says, I love spring and fall, but I'm learning to enjoy winter. It is such a large part of our weather here in Canada, but I don't enjoy cold and rainy as it's hard to walk and the darkness so early is so brutal. I'm with you all the way on that, Annalisa. I know winter is such a big part of the UK. I know we don't have it nearly as cold as you do in Canada, but we, 6 months of our year is grey and cold, so you kind of have to get used to it a little bit, don't you? But yeah, I don't enjoy it, definitely not. Right, so we've got some nice little windows cut out of our patterned paper here. I'm just going to trim off those edges. I can keep that little piece for something. And then we've got our two edge panels or side panels. We've got our back panel, which is this one here. And then on the reverse, we'll pop this one. And then these two will go on each side. So that's got the, the kind of the background element sort of, or the decoration of the outside covered. So I'm going to stick this on to the back here. Now I just need to remember if we pop this on here, should I stick that on first? No, I don't think I need to, because if I centre it properly, you shouldn't see it. So I'll centre that as much as my eyes allow. Definitely need an eye test. I really do. I'm really struggling at the moment. So let's flip this over and then we'll pop one on the back. And Lisa says our heat is doubling but not as badly as yours. So brutal. I know ours is already triple what it used to be, and it's set to go, it's set to go up even more, which is just ridiculous. It really is. So we're yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But we are at the moment, we did finally relent this week to putting the heating on just for a couple of hours over a couple of days. So we haven't had it on every day. We've only had it on for a couple of days. But you can't get any of your clothes dry if you don't have a tumble dryer, which we don't. But a lot of my clothes you can't, or our clothes we can't tumble dry. So you then stuck with how you can dry them, because you can't hang them out anymore. And one of Ant's most favourite things to do was to hang his washing out, which you might think I'm taking a mickey, but I'm not. That is actually a true thing. He would get up in the morning, check the weather. He'd even check the weather the night before in summer to see was he going to be able to hang his washing out. Very cute. So I'm going to stick this back portion to my card, but I'm not going to stick the other end. So we're just going to line those two up, put those two up against each other, fold that over to make sure I've got them in a straight line, which I do appear to have, which is good. And then you can see now that we're starting to get that box shape coming together, and we've got that cute little background in there as well. And then we can also attach these other elements so that they're ready to have some embellishments added to them as well. So we've got this and this. So let's just have a look, see what do they look like in the background. Do I want to add any colour to them? No, I think I quite like them in the silhouette. So what we're going to do with these, again, I'm just going to use liquid glue. If you don't want to use liquid glue and because you want them to adhere straight away, then I would suggest using some high tack red tape, but the Cosmic Shimmer Glue does dry pretty instantly, so I'm happy using that. So we'll just add a bit onto these two tabs here, and then just lay them across each other so that you can see that you're getting a straight line. You can add them higher up if you wanted to as well to create different dimension, but you want to be able to see some of that background as well. So you can see now, you can see through that. That's essentially what it's going to look like, but we're obviously going to add some decoration to the back of this as well. So some of the decorative pieces that I've got this banner here, which is going to look really cute, and then I cut a second one out which I thought I'd perhaps put along the front as well. And then we've got a number of little critters from the Trick or Treat set, some pumpkins that we can then add to each of these layers here, which I think is going to be pretty adorable. I think this guy flying off on his broomstick in the background is also going to look really cute. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Or shall I have them going that way? I think I'll have them going that way and that going that way, and then this one will go that way. So, and then what we just decide where the rest of the items go, and then the final thing is to stick it all together. So let's do some colouring in now. So this is the next stage, is to get some images coloured. So I really enjoy putting that together because I think it just is so easy to do, and I also really love colouring in my images. So the colour scheme that we've got essentially is this. So we've got orange, we've got purple, and we've got green. So that keeps it nice and simple as well. So this is my colour scheme. These bits we don't need. Let's move these out of my way. There we go. So oranges, let's have a look. What have we got for some nice oranges? A YO4. Is that YR68? Yes. 7 and 9. Let's try those. I'm pretty sure there is like a pumpkin orange. I wonder which one it is. Is it the one of these ones? Orange is YR68. It's apricot. Yeah, pumpkin yellow is YR15. So feels like we should use that, really, doesn't it? So I've got a little bit of scrap here. In fact, we've got a bit of scrap card. Where's that gone? Here we go. This is what we used to print everything. So that's a good orange. So we've got some oranges there. Some of my greens that we like. Let's have a look. This is a really nice kind of almost citrusy green. So I am a big fan of the YG shades. So there's YG00, YG01, YG03, and then the YG25 for a bit of depth. Obviously we've got black in there, and then purple. The purples are really tough because I'm really not a huge fan of purple for the Copic markers, but this VO9 is quite nice. It's a bit more vibrant. Let's try this as the VO6. They don't really go together too well, those. What else have we got? BVO8, I think is quite dark actually. Oh, wrong end. Yeah, that's quite dark, but that does seem fairly similar toned to the one in our background, doesn't it? is fairly similar. I just find that the purples in the Copic markers are really not the best. So I'm just testing a few out just to see which ones I might like. A lot of them are very grey, and I want a really vibrant purple. But yeah, they're all very, very grey, aren't they? So I think we might be where we are with that. And that one's almost pink. So I think we're probably, these are the best two shades that I'm going to come up with here. B17, let's have a look at this one. That's also, yeah, that one's not too bad actually. So they're my purples. So that's my colour scheme. And obviously we've then got V17, 15 and 12. Yeah, and that's what I normally go for, but I like I say, I'm not a big fan of the yeah, it's a bit pinky, that one, for me, Annalisa. But we'll see how we get on, because obviously we've got some cat colouring in amongst here as well, so it's not all going to be you know, colourful in this respect. It's really just the accessories that are going to be coloured, and the banner as well. So for the most part, I think my cats are going to be dark grey and black, so that's going to be you know, in keeping with spooky little kitties. And then we build on it from there. So kitty wise, let's go with some tea shades, I think, and then we've got some cool greys as well. I would like to use my neutral shades, but my darkest neutral shade is out of action, which is very annoying. So I can't at the moment. So which one should we start? We start with this guy, I think. I feel like this is looking like it might be about to go out, but I'm going to, this guy, I think I'm going to keep him quite a paler grey, albeit he's going to be grey all over. I'm going to try and keep it a little bit simple for us. We've got quite a few images, and I might just zoom in as well so that you can see what I'm doing. Should we have a little zoom? How's that? So you can see what we're up to. And then I'll take some of the, so that was T1, this is T3. Add a little bit of shading to him. A bit of shadow under there. I must admit, I've been colouring in cats pretty much all week. My next task is to colour in some of the new release. So that's exciting. I can't wait for that. The design team have got all of their bits and bobs. Well, some of it I think is still winging its way across the seas to our lovely design team that are farther afield. But yeah, hopefully it will be with you really soon. So that's kitty number 1. I'm going to do all my kitty cats first because I feel like that's a little bit easier. So this guy, I'm going to do him with a bit of a white belly, but so probably a bit more tabby looking. So I've kept his nose area white, and then I'm going to do a bit of shading like we've just done with the previous kitty, but a bit deeper. So blending that in, doing this really roughly and quickly, and then T5 I think is going to give me a bit of a deeper shadow in places, but also give me some little stripes. That's very cute. So we can blend those in a little bit. Oh no, that's my T1. I should be blended with my T3, so that's probably blended them out a little bit too much, but not to worry. I'll go back in and darken them after. And then the T7, this is typically how I do my tabby cats. And just add that darker little squiggly triangle in the center, and then T5 again just to blend those darker stripes out. Oh, flicking it about. T3, yeah, T3 I think, no, T1. Go back to the T1 I think and just blend out those edges. And then the little white chest, if we get some E40 and just add that along the bottom so that we've got a little bit of texture there. And then we need some shall I go for a black nose or a pink nose? I think pink nose, pink nose. So R20 for a little pink nose and some pink cheeks. There we go. Pink nose, pink cheeks. Oh, and pink ear. Nearly forgot the little pink ear. So that's those two dudes done. So we've just got the accessories to do for this one. This little guy, I think we will go with, I'm going to go with a cool greys on this. So cool grey 3. This guy is going to be primarily a very dark grey that will contrast against the white of his bandages. So that can all be coloured in this one shade. There we go. And then cool grey 5. Oh, I've got some weird person on our YouTube. They can be removed. I'm not sure how. We don't want to know about any dancing girls. Thank you very much. How very strange. That's never happened to us before, has it? I'm not very happy about that. So, sorry if my head's getting in the way. I've just realised my head might be getting in the way there. So I'm adding a bit more of this darker grey to those darker areas, and then the C7 will add some more depth of colour just into those areas where there's going to be shadow. So I've gone quiet now because I'm concentrating on not going over the lines. There we go. A bit darker there, I think. Darker there. Lovely. So we go back over with the C5. So what? Hurry up, post. I need the new release now, says Annalisa. I know. I wish I could make it get there faster. We needed like a teleportation device. So does anybody else have any fun plans for this weekend, for the Halloween weekend? Myself, I am heading to my mum and dad's this weekend, which is always a nice thing to do, but it's extra specially nice this time because we're going to go and see Martipello live, which I'm so excited about. I do love Martipello live. I've been a big fan of his since the Wet 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 days when I was a teenager, and he's so good live. He's such a good performer, so good with the audience. It's always a party. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. And it's going to be extra specially nice because I get to go with my mum and dad, who my mum's not been too well, and you know, I'm just hoping it's going to be a little bit of a nice night out for them and not going to be too stressful for them. So they just have a little bit of fun for the night. So for the bandages, I think what I'm going to do is loving the little dudes, the little trick-or-treat dudes. I think they're so cute. Do love them. I've actually really enjoyed doing some Halloween projects this year. I don't think I did very many last year, so it's been nice. Now we've got a few more products that are Halloween related. It's nice to be able to play with them. I think I'm going to go with a dark grey for his nose. I think that works. And then again, we need a bit of pink for each of these ears. There we go. So now we've got three little trick-or-treaters there. So we've just got the two here now. So this guy, what should we do with this guy? He's going to be in the background, isn't he? And then this guy's going to be pretty much white. So this guy can be quite dark as well, I think. But I'll do him in the... should we do him in these greys? Or shall we go for the blend shades and just see if we can't make it work. I've really only got the 2 shades, so that's going to make it a bit one-dimensional, I feel. Let's see if we've got any juice left in this. No, none at all. 100% gone. I've got a couple that need replacing now. So we'll leave them to one side again. Oh. And I'm going to go with the cool greys. Then we've got 2 in the tonal greys and 2 not. So this guy, I think I'm going to make him black and white. Bit like our little kitten Harry. So just adding some patches of colour to indicate the black splodges. And just getting darker into the centre each time. So yeah, so we've seen Martipello at the Lincoln Theatre, which I've not been to before, I don't think. So I'm excited for that, and I get to stay over with my mum and dad. Anne is working this week, the weekend, so it means that he wouldn't be coming anyway, but he's going to be on his own for the evening, and he's very excited about that. So, how rude, but yeah, he's looking forward to having a bit of a chilled night in with the cats without me. How rude. So that will be quite nice for him, and he'll probably get a really good night's sleep, because he says he doesn't get a good night's sleep with me at the moment, because I've taken to snoring occasionally, apparently, which is really annoying because I do wake myself up. So yeah, that's not good news, is it? So I'm going to use some of the E40 just to add a little bit of shadow and a bit of texture in places, so it looks like it's flat. It's not flat, if that makes sense. And then we'll add a little bit of pink to the nose, cheeks and ears. And then for the feet, because the feet are pretty much going to be white as well, but they will have little paws. So I'm going to add a lighter shade of pink there, and then I will just add some of this E40 to the paws as well, which is really subtle. You can probably barely see it at all on the video, but if you look closely, you'll be able to see that. And then the final little guy, I don't want to colour behind his eyes too much, because you will obviously you'll not be able to see them. So I'm going to go with grey for the paws, and we'll make those a little bit darker around the centre. So he again is a black cat, but I'm keeping the area behind his eyes light so that we can see them. And then for the sheet that he's wearing, I'm going to use a little bit of this really pale blue to add a few flicks to the bottom, a little bit of shading kind of around the outside edges and around this trick-or-treat bag and behind it as well, just for it to give a little bit of an illusion of there being a bit of a white glow behind those. Right, so that's the kitties pretty much sorted. So we can now work on all of these accessories. So I'm going to start with this guy and his pumpkin, and we're going to do some traditional pumpkin yellow. I know when we did our little our card a couple of weeks ago now, we did experiment with different colours of pumpkin, which I really did enjoy doing. But I think we all know that jack-o'-lanterns tend to be the traditional orange shade, don't they? So I think that's what we'll go with. Some nice orangey pumpkins. I did enjoy doing like a green shade of pumpkin. I thought that was really fun to do. But like I say, I think traditionally we're looking at more of the orange, aren't we? So I think we'll stick with that theme just to keep things a little bit simpler for ourselves, because the other thing about doing like a box card of this type is you do tend to do a few more images to decorate, so it can take a little bit more time from that point of view. But if you've got your images already stamped and die cut, or you've already got them printed and fussy cut, it does make the whole process so much simpler. You could also, with your digi-stamps, use your scan and cut or the silhouette machine with the PicScan mat. I've got one, I've used it a couple of times, and I do want to use it an awful lot more, because I think it's a great little tool. So we've got this is, I don't know if this is that much darker, so this is the YR16, and I feel like that's not really that much darker, is it, than what we've just laid down. But I'm just going to add a little bit of shading around the edges, so that we've got a little bit of shape. But again, we can keep it super simple. And I think I'm going to go in with like a darker shade. Sorry if I'm not looking at anybody's comments at the moment as well. I'm not ignoring you. It's just that when I'm colouring so much, I get in the zone and I don't look up very often. So I will do shortly. So that's not dark enough now. I think I need a really nice deep orange. What's this one? Oh, that's lovely. I'm going to try this. This is YR09. This is quite a bit deeper, but it's lovely and rich. That's going to give me a really nice bit of depth, I think, to all of these little pumpkins. Has anybody tried doing any pumpkin carving yet this year? I don't think I've ever tried to do any pumpkin carving, if I'm honest. I can't remember if we did some in the shop when we had time for tea. I feel like we did buy a carving set, but I think that was more just to help us, because we did make a lot of pumpkin soup in the shop, which was delicious actually, really, really nice. Lovely soup. And we used to make it a little bit spicy, which was really nice. And that with some hot buttered bread. Oh, that is one of the things, like I say, about this time of year that I like, is that the cozy food and drink, and just getting snuggled up in jumpers and scarves, but I don't really want to be out in it. And it goes on for so long. If we could have the lovely sunshiny autumn days throughout winter, I think I'd be up for that. That wouldn't be so bad. But we don't have many of those. They're more grey and dull, aren't they? So yeah, that's the bit that I'm not a fan of. So getting some nice pumpkin-y finishes there. They look great. And I'm going to use a really dark grey for inside of their mouths, which I know, technically speaking, you would probably have them lit up, wouldn't you? But they're going to be filled in for the purposes of us colouring them in. So this is the C7. I do have a C9 actually, which might have worked as well. But I might add a bit of that into the mouths. There we go. Bit of C9. That illusion of depth on one side. Okay, there we go. Coming together. So let's have a look. Annalisa says that she's done more Halloween projects a year than any other year, and you're going for a hike. Hopefully, most of the leaves have fallen, but it's the perfect temperature for hiking. Very nice. Claire says that you're not far if I want to come in for a visit. That would be lovely, and I do still need to make some arrangements to come and see some of your crafty friends, don't I? Because I know you have a really good craft group there in Lincoln. Annalisa says, I was going to say poor Aunt, but it seems you don't need to. No, he's more than happy, Annalisa. He can't wait. And Claire says, pumpkin risotto yesterday. I've never had pumpkin risotto, but that does sound nice. And Annalisa says, I used to spend 3 to 4 hours on complicated designs of pumpkin carving from Pumpkin Masters Designs, but sadly I can't anymore as it really hurts my wrists. So, wow, that's 3 to 4 hours on complicated carving. That sounds awesome. But I can imagine it does hurt your wrists, because it's tough carving a pumpkin, isn't it? It is pretty tough from what I understand. Like I say, I'm not sure I actually got involved in the pumpkin carving. That will have been definitely been an aunt job. So I'm just going to add a little bit of brown to those stalks. I'm using E35 for that. I'm not going to go mad. I'm sticking with that. And then the YG03, I'm going to use that for the little leaves on the stalks here. The cat has just entered the area. Hello. That is Arnie, I believe. Arnie has been weighed today. He weighs almost half a stone. He's not 6 months old yet. So, good Lord. So, for my little kind of masked crusader here, I'm thinking, what was the V09? Was that a bit, oh no, that was much darker. We'll go for the V17 over his eyes here. It is a bit dark, but I think we can still see his eyes quite nicely there. So his mask is going to be purple. You're going to lay there. You lay there. You lay there and keep me company. And make that a little bit darker. And just blend that in. And then his cape, I think I'm going to do in green. This guy's going to get all of the colours. All of the colours. Because he can have himself an orange trick-or-treat basket, I think. So an orange basket. And do you know what? I'm going to do the middle of it green. Sorry, we're being a bit boring in here for you. He's gone and left me. So just a little bit of shading around there. Oh, I didn't do his ears. I need to do his ears. So let's do a little bit of pink in those ears. So that's this guy done. What about this guy? I think purple. Yeah, let's do purple. Purple basket with green interior. And a bit of shading around the outside of there won't hurt. I love that. Yes, you do need to save your wrists for card making. That's absolutely true. His little nose that's poking through. Is that a nose that is poking through? Or is it a nose that's covered by... I'm going to say it's a nose poking through. So that he can breathe. So I'm going to colour that in. There we go. And I think this chap is going to have a green basket. So a bit of green. This is the YG03. And then the YG25 is going to add me a little bit of shading. And we'll go with some yellow, some pumpkin yellow even on the inside of there. So now these little guys are all coming together really nicely. For this chap, I think purple hat. We've not got, oh no, or a green. Let's go with a green hat. Just for something different. Because we don't have a lot of the green accents. We've got a lot of orange. Obviously our card is purple, so we want to be able to, we want things to stand out from that a little bit, don't we? So at the moment, Ant is playing on his PlayStation. while I'm crafting, and he is playing on the football, the FIFA, one of the FIFA games. I have no idea what they are. I don't get involved in that, but it absolutely winds him up so much. He gets so agitated, and I think, why are you even playing it? It winds you up so much. And even he says, I don't even know why I play it, because it just drives him insane. So it's very funny though. Some of the language, whew, it's not to be heard in certain, you know, in certain company. Okay, so for the broom itself, I'm quite liking. Oh, that's a bit too orangey. I don't think that's the colour I was thinking of. What was I thinking of? Or maybe it's the yellow shades. More what I was thinking. Yeah, that's quite nice. So this is the Y28, which is Lionette Gold. So that's quite nice, just to add a little bit of texture to anything that's kind of brushy coloured. Brushy coloured. But you then just got to find an appropriate shade of yellow really to go with it, because you don't want it to be too yellowy. I don't know if I've got many shades that aren't too yellowy. I don't know if I'm making any sense here whatsoever, but what's this YR31? That's a nice, it's a bit more orangey than yellowy. So I've just used a mixture of YR31, the Y28, and then the Y21. And that's kind of worked, I think. So final thing is to do our banner. So for the banner, obviously I'm just going to use a combination of all of these colours that we've used, and I'm going to keep it super simple. We're probably not even going to do any shading on here, but I'm going to go orange, green, purple, orange, or orange, purple, green, as it is on there. So, and then I think I'm going to use like the dark grey or black for the strip. So we use purple, I wonder if purple is quite a difficult colour to make up, because I don't know if I've seen any really fabulous purples in any other brand either. Does anybody have any recommendations of really good purples for other brands? It'd be good to know if you know, if you can get a really nice vibrant purple elsewhere. Why won't that go on properly? What am I doing? There we go. And then some green. So I'm using the darker green just so that will pop a little more. And one thing I've just remembered, I just realised I haven't thought about a sentiment, have I? So I think, what sentiment shall we use? What shall we use? We could use a die cut sentiment, actually. Couldn't we? So we're just going to colour in the little ribbon or string. There we go. And one more on here. And we'll start putting this together, and then we'll have a think, see what we want to do about a sentiment. Go. Right, we put all of these pens away. There's so many pens we've used. You know you've had a good session when you've got all of your Copics out. they're all over the place. I do love that. So get back in there. Go on. In you go. So what's next? Oh no, they're greens, not yellows. Putting them back in the wrong place. Oh, silly me. Sorry, well, I just sort out my pens. I hate it when they're not back in place where they're supposed to be. Right, here we go. Final thing to do is just to add some of our highlights, because we won't be able to do them once they're in place, because they'll obviously be tucked up inside our box, so we won't be able to get to them very easily. So this is the time to do your highlights, your bit of a clean up, if needs be. Add a few little bits and bobs, as you might like to. One of the things that I like to do, as you know, is add glaze to the noses and things, so I might do that. This is one of my favourite things to do, and I do it on every card, which, you know, if you've been following me for a while, you know this is definitely my thing, and I just think it just adds so much to your images. Just really finishes them off beautifully. Gives them a bit of character, makes them look more, I guess, a little bit more like an illustration. So I can also, on here, if I've made any, like if I've gone out of the lines a little bit, I can clean that up with my General pen, which is also very, very handy to do. So you see I've gone over a little bit there, so I can just correct that. There we go. So they're all our little bits all ready to go. And then we can also, as well, one thing I should say is you can add sentiments or images to the side. On the back, you can also add a place for people to write their message, that kind of thing. So loads of different options. So we were going to have this little kitty here in the background, weren't we? With one of our banners here in the background. So I'm going to pop the banner on first. I'm going to pop the banner on with some liquid glue, and I'm going to stay in close so that you can see what I'm doing. That might work for us, but if we run out of space, then I'll zoom back out again, but hopefully this will work. So let's put that so that it's going to meet up with one edge and another. Stick that down, and I'm going to get my foam tape here. Oops. So that this is my super duper sized. Let's stick this guy down. I actually haven't done my glaze pen, which I do need to do so that it's got time to dry. So we will stick this guy on and then add some glaze. So glaze, we'll just wipe off any excess glue, and then eyes. Oh, chucking my glue about. So if you have got an image that you have coloured in a little bit darker, the glaze just helps those areas pop back to the forefront, which I think works really well. Looks really nice. I used to add highlights to my characters' eyes, but in a way that dulled them in some ways. So let's see where this guy can go. Yeah, I think I'll have him flying up there, and then I'm just gonna go over his eyes there. We'll be careful not to smudge them. So that's the first part of our scene. So then we need to figure out where these little characters are going to go and who's going to sit where. So we could have this little trick-or-treater here, and then maybe this one here, or maybe this guy, looking kind of cute. And we can also add a little pumpkin to one of them as well. And then at the front, I think maybe we're going to have this dude and this dude. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to have this pumpkin sat just in front of him. So again, this is the fun bit where you get to make up your little scene however you want it to look. And what you're going to do is you're then going to add, so I've got those two together, and I'm going to add some glue just to the bottom here, like so. And then I'm going to stick them to this panel here. Okay. So then we can see, right, where's he going to sit? How's he going to look in the scene? We don't want any glue on the back there to stick to the back. We just want to make sure that that's all dried and rubbed off. And then I think we said we were going to have this little guy up here. So again, a bit of glue just on the base there. I'm going to try not to touch his eyes, which might still be a bit wet. And stick him to the hillside just there. So you can see through the scene, you can see the little guy here, and you can still see through to the cat at the back. And just press that down. Again, on the back there is a little bit of a smudge of glue. make sure that that is dried, because when when it's closed flat like this, that's when it'll stick together, you see. So, and that's the beauty about the box card, is that it will fold flat. So next up then, the front seam. Now we can actually have one of them right at the very front here, maybe there even, so you can see all of the characters. If we do it like that, looks quite cute, doesn't it? Yeah, what about if we do that? I quite like that as a little seam. That looks really cute. So I'm going to pop this guy in the middle then. Pop him in the middle. Sorry if my head is in the way there. If I pop him in the middle, when this stands up straight, he's in the middle. That's looking really cute. And then this guy can go at the front here. And then we could also have a pumpkin there, or we could have a pumpkin next to this guy in the front. I think that's looking quite cute. And then this guy is going to sit there. Yeah, quite like that. Let's use them two are the same, aren't they? No, these are different. So use the different pumpkin. So pop him there. Pop his thing, his little what's it? Cape. And then if we pop this guy at the front, I'm going to have a bit of glue around that side. So again, he can just sit on the corner there. And any glue that's kind of showing on the back, we just need to make sure that that dries, so it doesn't stick to what's behind it. And then we were also going to add this to the front, so I'm going to do that once we've popped the whole thing together. We have got another little pumpkin there, and I'm thinking what we might do is pop our sentiment on the back, which I think would be quite cute. So to stick the whole thing together, excuse me, we need to add some glue to the two edges here. So add those to there. Open this up like so. And then fold this over. And I'm going to add glue onto this edge also. Just make sure that that's fully covered. And then I'm going to close this over. Open that back up, sorry. Close that over the top of there, like so. And then close this over the front of there. And match those two up. Squeeze them together so that they all adhere. And then when you open it back up, just need to give them enough time to kind of grab and dry, which I might not have done, but I'm so impatient. And then what you would do is fold it back the other way, press that down, make sure that that is all stuck down in place, and then you can fold it both ways so that it will go into your card. That is so cute. Look at that. That is so cute. So I'm going to pop this banner onto here, I think. And I actually think that maybe a little sentiment in this corner is going to work. So that is going to go from one edge to another like that. And I think a little bit of glue just on, come out, just on there as well. It's going to be needed. I'll stick that there and that there. Love it. Love it so much. So sentiment wise, I do think that, like, what do I think? Trick or treat sentiment is pretty much ideal, really, isn't it? The banner looks so great. Such a cute crew. Adorable, says Jess. Thank you so much. So we've got the trick or treat, which I think might look really cute on there, potentially. What do we think? I mean, I think it looks such a cute scene without it. I'm tempted to just put that on the back, because I think that's going to look really cute. So I've got a little bit of a spare piece of cardstock here, and I think we'll just stamp it out and then see what we think. And if we stamp it in a colour, I'm going to stamp it in, guess what, I'm going to stamp it in carved pumpkin. What do we think to that? Let's stamp it in some carved pumpkin. Now this is Distress Oxide ink, so it's not going to be so solid, if that makes sense. But I don't know, I kind of like the distressed look for Halloween anyway. So I think that's going to look really cute. So that's, to be fair, that's stamped really nice. So I'm not going to argue with that at all. So let's just clean off the stamp here. And that away. And I've got my little paper trimmer here. Let's have a go at trimming this down. I hate trimming sentiments because I never do them straight. So, you know, we'll see what happens with this one. To be fair, that's not too horrendous. I'm going to trim a little bit off this edge. I don't think I've got the sharpest blade imaginable. No, I definitely haven't, because it doesn't want to cut through my cardstock now at all. So I'm going to grab my paper scissors and just trim this bit off, because I'm just hacking away at it there. There we go. There we go. See, this is the bit then where you just start hacking a bit more off and a bit more off, don't you? Stop doing it. So I think that's not going to look great on the front. I think the front of the card looks beautiful, but on the back, I think a little trick or treat with our little pumpkin is just going to finish that off nicely, and it's going to give you, you know, just a little message for someone. So trying to squeeze that out now I've put the top on is a bit of a fruitless task, isn't it? So pop that on there. And we can close this to press this down. And then we can also add our final little pumpkin. So we've used all of our images. We've used our digital papers. We've used our box card die set. And we've used our digi stamps and our trick or treat from the Haunted House stamp set. So we've got some good use out of our Halloween projects today. So let me show you the final project. Is our cute little scene with all of our trick-or-treaters going and trick-or-treating against that starry background. The banner just looks really cute, and then the decoration goes all the way around to the back and the side and back to the front. And then you can close it and open and close that way as well. Perfect. So then that will fit in your envelope, no problem. Hey. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed making that. I absolutely love making box cards. Don't forget that the box card die and all of the Halloween goodies that I've used today are all 20% off until midnight on the 31st. We've also got an offer on free shipping if you use the code free ship, I believe it is, but all the details are on the website. So yeah, it's a really great time to buy Halloween stuff. You'll be able to use them this year and next. So stock up on some goodies, and there's things in there like the box card die that aren't strictly for Halloween but work really well with your Halloween products, so you can buy it now and then use it for all your future products as well, for your future projects. So it's a really fun one to have in your stash because it looks so cute, and when people get it and it pops up with all of that detail, they're going to be made up to receive it. So there's some other great ones in there. Just go to the Halloween section of the website and you'll see them all there as well. So enjoy the Halloween weekend. Hopefully I'll see you for another video before the weekend's out, or at least before the big day, with another Halloween project. But I'll leave you all be for tonight. Have a fabulous evening, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been so lovely to craft with you tonight. And I'll see you again next week for some more crafting live with me. See you soon, guys. Thanks for joining me. Bye. Oh, and Lisa says she loves it. Heather says she loves it as well. Thank you, guys. I'm really pleased that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all soon. Bye. Bye now. Bye.